You went to a church in Salem or something. Then, if you're listening to that
I did.
occult music, oh my god!
I was listening to the Monster Mash.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, you sent me that, and I'm like, I just got into bed at Josh's parents' house, and I'm like, wow, you are like, you're somewhere else.
He did the mash, okay?
You know what? That's an underrated song. We don't talk about that enough as a society.
Do you not like the Monster Mash?
No, I do. I'm just kidding about it being an underrated
Ashley.
song. Oh my gosh.
Do you like the Monster Mash song? No, she said that. You know what pisses me off is Ashley will say that shit about everything. And I'll give you an example, right? Mm-hmm. What happened? Who died?
Huh? Oh,
you said,
Diane. Oh, no.
Oh, Diane Feinstein?
No,
yeah,
her.
she died.
But yeah, I was saying
at the ripe
her
old age
response.
of 90.
Yeah, the ripe. But yeah, no. What's your example? Sorry.
Ashley does this thing all the time. All the time. And it's fine. It's probably the way you're supposed to be. But like, I'll show her something that I'm like proud of or impressed by. And she's like, it's okay.
Josh is like that with me too.
I'm like, what? This is good.
Yeah, Josh is like that with me too.
Or here's the kicker. I like tell a joke, right? I'll tell a joke and I think the joke is good. Mm-hmm. But it's me, right? So I'm just like shit grinning. I'm like, and she's like, wasn't that funny?
Oh my god. Yeah, Josh is like that with me too.
All right, Tory, say something.
Remember when we were supposed to have a podcast? Podcast. Hello, welcome to episode 39 of the LEM'n'TEA podcast. I'm T, this is Lem, and I can't believe we're almost at episode. I just said 39, and I was like, oh wait, we're almost at episode 40. Is
it 39?
Yeah, it's 39.
That can't be right.
It is right.
You want to know why? Because it's the last one was episode number 38, which was not 37.
37 plus 1. Yeah, no, it's episode 39. So for those of you who are
37 plus 2.
First 37 plus 2.
As we like to call it.
Who's the we?
Me.
Oh, the you like to call it.
Me.
So for those who have stuck through us at episode 1 or just finding us now, thank you and welcome. This is a podcast where two millennials that used to sit on a futon now sit in 2 lawn chairs and talk about pretty much anything that affects millennial life or life in general or just musings of just musings.
These lawn chairs are not as bad as I thought they would be.
No, I do miss the futon though. It's in our line of sight. It's on its literal last legs.
It's kind of broken. And I don't know if there's any repairing that or any like way to reuse that, but it'd be cool to get back to it.
Well, if I ever need space in my house, I have a futon we can just use.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't have arms. It's just a free.
Sure.
Like because it's meant to be like a mattress because it folds out.
Okay.
So there's hope for the future.
We could do that. That would be cool too.
Yeah. So
it's just nice to have it's just like right there. So
teasing.
Easy.
Mocking us.
Right.
But anyway, we're in lawn chairs indoors under the moon. So anyway.
Did you see that supermoon like a couple weeks ago? It was like humongous.
It is, yeah, it was. I did see it. I saw it driving actually.
Really?
Half the time I find out about
I
these
wasn't talking about today. Like I was talking about like a week or two ago.
Oh, then no. Okay,
there was one today too.
No, I wasn't. No. Oh, no, I was driving today. Yeah,
but
I was talking. Yeah, I'm talking about the same one as you a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
But I was driving at the time, and half the time with these like the moon phenomena, I only find out about them like usually when I'm driving or I like look out my window and I go, oh, the moon looks like kind of pink. Dude. I wonder if that's a thing. And I look it up and they're like, it's the strawberry moon and it's not going to happen for another 10, 20 years. And they go, oh,
cool.
All right, I'm going to go to bed because
yeah.
It's like you try to take pictures or like same thing with fireworks. It's like, and they never come out good on a phone.
Fireworks are hard. You have to have your phone in like a special mode. And then like.
Yeah, some phones have a fireworks mode, I think.
But even with that mode, it still doesn't work. Like.
That's one of the things I remember. I'm sure all phone companies have done it, but I remember Apple doing as a selling point. But the thing about fireworks for like a way to take clear pictures of fireworks, as an example, I guess, of how clear the picture could be in whatever circumstance. But the thing about fireworks is like you are never, ever, 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 ever going to go back and look at your fireworks pictures unless they are like if they're standard fireworks. Like when we went to Japan, we saw really cool like shapes. Like there was like one that was shaped like an octopus and stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But for America.
We did take pictures of those.
Leagues behind, and we don't have octopi fireworks yet.
It's too advanced.
Yeah, you know. So, but there's some ones that I'm not going to say the town, obviously, but closer to the ocean, on July 3rd, someone had taken with the actual, like, legitimate camera. Someone took really good fireworks pictures, and they look really cool. And then we had ours. Yeah. Then we had ours. Crappy July 4th fireworks. Good times. So.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But now that I live right by the ocean, like I live pretty close.
Yeah.
Seeing the moon over the ocean is really cool. Like when it's like that.
That must be, really cool.
It's really neat.
But speaking of holidays, we're steadfastly approaching. This is as when we're recording right now. It is the last day of September. 30 days have September. Yeah. I
know.
And so we are approaching the month of Halloween.
I like how you still do that to figure out the days. I do
oh
that
my god!
I do that. I'm not criticizing. I'm saying that because I do that all the time.
I do that for certain things too. Like I learned my left and my right by someone being like, the L looks like an L, and that's your left. Or like I learned how to use my turn signals by someone saying it's upright. Like like you sitting in the seat, you go upright. I'm like, oh. That's how I learn my turn signals.
Oh my god.
So things like that. Yes, I do still do the 30 days.
Yes, I do that as well because I never, like, I'm usually pretty good, but like there's still some months, like my birth month, I know that there's 30 days in June, right?
April, June, and November.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the song. But like there's some months where I have to really think about it. And September is one of those months where I'm like, is it a 30 or a 31?
Well, it also just, I feel like this month in general just went by really fast. And now it's cold. Like we had
it happened out of nowhere.
We had a really crappy summer weather-wise. Like it just sucked. It was crappy. There were maybe 2 collective weeks of like it being hot but not humid. Like it felt like summer. Yeah. And then everything else was like humid and disgusting. My electric bill was so high.
Humid and disgusting.
It was. It felt like Florida. No offense, but
you're not offending me. I don't live there, so.
But you have ties to it.
I do have Florida ties.
So yeah, it just felt like, and now it's like a balmy, like high 50s, low 60s here now.
It's nice.
It is nice, but it wasn't as gradual as I feel like it usually.
It's taken me a while to adjust to it, because I am I am a thin person, and also I get cold easily. So like
I do too.
It like when this weather change happened, I was freezing my ass off. I'm like, holy fuck. And Ashley's like, it's so nice. I'm like,
it is. Yeah, it's nice.
I like it. It's good. I'm glad it's here. But holy fuck, there was no time to adjust to that. Like it just happened.
I time my because I have too many clothes and not enough space. So I had time my wardrobe changes to when my father opens his pool company, and when he closes it, and he closes his pool company, like swimming pools, in mid-October, I think, for Columbus Day. He bases them around holidays. So that's when I change over my wardrobe. So I still have all my summer clothes out, and I'm freezing constantly. But anyway, that's my own problem. The month of Halloween, though.
The month of Halloween.
It is. Like, Christmas can have a month, Halloween can have a month. It's like, but there's already, I mean, we talked about this last time. There's already Christmas stuff in stores, which I find highly annoying. Because
it's bullshit.
Well, Halloween's basically like a gothic Christmas. There are people who have like black Christmas trees. They have like wreaths that have like little like black garland and little pumpkins and whatever. Like it is basically just like Hot Topic Halloween, which is not a diss. I like that. It's just I just wish Halloween could have its own time to shine. And then November 1st can come along and we can just forget about Thanksgiving like most do.
Forget about it.
But anyway, are you excited for Halloween?
I love Halloween.
I know. Is it your favorite holiday, do you think?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So
Christmas is the second, because I think it's still like, I have great memories of Christmas time.
Oh yeah.
Like but it's like Halloween's just different. It's just more fun and less drama. Like I feel like there's always like drama around fucking like Christmas, Thanksgiving shit.
Well, because they both involve family. Thanksgiving more so, and then Christmas also has the added pressure of like buying gifts and stuff.
Yeah.
Halloween is literally like
buy candy.
Yeah, you can even buy candy for yourself.
I do.
Might have done that today.
November 1st is my Halloween.
Oh yeah, that's right, because all the candy gets half off.
go to the store. I'm like, holy shit, it's time.
Yeah, this candy's no good anymore. There are Reese cups that are shaped like pumpkins, and that makes them not taste great in November.
You know what we never did, and what I will never fucking do?
No, what's that?
Is our kids, they're young, so they still go trick-or-treating, right?
Yeah.
And I've never done that fucking stupid thing where parents would be like, oh, I ate all your Halloween candy. Oh, it's so funny. I ate all your... You never seen this?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy Kimmel
Kimmel?
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
And that's so
dumb.
mean. I hate... I don't know. There's certain pranks that I'm like, this was never funny, and
the egg smash one too.
I was just gonna say that one.
That
I hate
egg smash
that one.
Is fucking dumb.
Oh my God,
that shit.
It's so dumb. I don't know. Like, if you're gonna do pranks, at least do them on adults that like know about the trials and tribulations of the world, and they're world weary. But these are like kids you're like, hey Timmy, do you want to help me make pancakes? And then you just go whack.
They're like trying to have like a lifelong memory, and then
that's
instead
like a
of
horrible core memory.
It is, but it will be a core memory at that point. I'd be like, holy shit.
As you lay in your therapist's chair and be like, and this is why I have trust issues with my mother's, because she cracked an egg over my head for content.
This is why I left Survivor early.
Oh my God.
We can get into that.
Oh yes.
In a bit if you want.
Yeah.
But no, like...
Yeah, the Halloween candy prank one. No.
I don't think that's funny. I think that's dumb. So we've never done that. But they also don't ever, like... They just don't go... They're great kids, but they just don't go through their candy. Like...
I used to go through mine.
Like, No. I know. Because our generation, maybe...
Yeah.
Maybe it's us. But we were built different, okay? That shit was gone. And sorted, like, the night of, like, taking it out.
Oh, yeah. Me and my brother and my cousin would trade.
Holy shit.
We would also keep aside like candies that we were never gonna eat. Usually were Almond Joys and Mounds. Like, bless the parents that are trying to like do different candy, because every single person's gonna do like Kit Kats or Reese's or M&Ms, and you want to be different, and you're like, I want to get some Mounds, but these are children, and most don't like coconut.
It's such a... I have a problem with texture sometimes. Not always. Usually I'm fine with texture, but coconut texture I can't do.
Oh, like shaved coconut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
It does kind of feel like, I don't know.
Like I don't know what it is.
Pencil shavings.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
specifically
a good way.
Colored pencil shavings.
But it's awful. Like,
yeah.
We did that candy thing last year. Remember that?
Yes, the worst candies. That was fun.
We should do another one.
I grabbed all the horrible candies I could think of. So
there's more out there.
Maybe I'll do ones that are like, I don't know.
We could
just by name sound horrible or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we can just do the best. We can do the best and rate them.
The best, yeah. We could treat ourselves. We tricked ourselves last year.
That's oh my God. You're on topic. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what I think this year I might ask is if because they're younger, so they're young, and we kind of just kept control of like what they would eat, because I would imagine if you let a 5-year-old go into candy, they would just be done with it one day.
Probably, yeah.
So I think they have more self-restraint now.
Okay.
So I think we're just gonna let them have control of it.
Okay.
And see what happens.
All right. Well, I wish the best of luck in that endeavor. I could go either way, really.
They had access to their candy. Now that I think of it, they had access to their candy last year too. They just forget about it.
Like, genuinely, I know you said you don't do this, but I genuinely think if you dipped into their candy, like, not say I ate it all, but yeah, they wouldn't notice.
They didn't.
Right. So. Yeah. Or you could even like, if candy lasts 2 months, you could use it like in their stockings or something.
True.
Good. It's economic.
Oh my God.
So.
What a great holiday.
Halloween's the holiday that keeps on giving.
Oh man, what a great holiday.
So here's a question for you. Nightmare Before Christmas, do you consider that a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie?
I consider that a Halloween movie.
Okay. I think I do too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I understand why people, I mean, obviously it does.
Not to say I'm not going to watch it Christmas time. If
no.
If it's on, I'm going to watch it. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
I just think it has Christmas in the name of the movie, but I've always considered it more of a Halloween movie. Because it's not like somebody from Christmas Town comes into Halloween Town and like Christmasifies it or whatever.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Yeah, so it's like making Christmas more spooky rather than making Halloween more like, I don't know, festive?
Alive.
Alive. That's a good one too.
No, I like, first of all, it's just a dumb internet argument, right? So it's not it's
in
not
a
real.
similar vein of like, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or whatever?
That one,
which I've now having seen Die Hard, I don't think it is, because it could happen on literally any day.
Yeah.
It could, they like, everybody's gathered there because it's a Christmas party, but it could be a New Year's party. It could be like a 4th of July party. It could literally be any kind of holiday party, and it doesn't matter to me. So to me,
it's inconsequential that it's Christmas.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we'll talk about Christmas in a couple months. But but it is one of those dumb internet arguments where people feel like there is a right answer, and really it's just an opinion.
So it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
It's not real. But,
it's not real.
But the real answer is.
But if there was a real answer.
If there was a real answer.
Yeah.
The real answer is that it's a Halloween movie.
Okay. So do your kids have their Halloween costumes all figured out?
They did. And my daughter, whose name I won't say this time.
Yeah.
Changed it this morning. She didn't even pick anything.
That doesn't surprise me with
She
her.
didn't pick anything. I just happened to mention it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, you guys are going to be Yoshis. Because they wanted to be like twin Yoshis.
Yeah.
And my son was going to have Baby Mario, and she was going to have Baby Peach, which I thought was really cute. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And it's easy.
And she changed it?
And she's like, no, I don't want to do that anymore, Dad.
Oh my gosh. Did she have she just said she doesn't have a backup?
I just don't want that. No.
Okay, she got a month.
She's just going to be a Yoshi. I mean, like, that's just what it is. If she doesn't pick anything, she's just going to be a Yoshi.
She's got like maybe 2 weeks.
What she wants to be is something
very complicated.
She wants to be this character called Nine from a show called Sonic Prime on Netflix.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was I didn't know there was a Netflix Sonic show, and B, I didn't even know there was a character called Nine.
They're right at the right age for like, now they're starting to like watch things and really get into it. Like, they were into like kids shows, obviously, but it's kids shows.
Yeah,
this is kind of like has like a more deeper plot in some areas. So it's Sonic, but they're really starting to get into like the lore of it. They love it.
Like canonical lore, or just their own kind of lore?
No, like what the show is displaying. So like Sonic goes into like a different world, and there are like versions of the friends he knows.
Okay.
So like Tails in that world is called Nine.
Yes.
And that character already has 2 tails, but they have 7 more.
That are mechanical, right?
Mechanical.
Yeah.
So she wants to be that. But she's such a fucking... like,
yeah.
I love my kids, obviously.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Every time I say this, I have to preface it with I love my kids.
Yeah.
She's such an egotistical...
God, she's 6.
little girl.
She's 6.
But she does this with everything. She's at the age where I don't know how to... It's hard to, like, stomp in your kids' dreams, right? So everything she does, she's like, am I the best at this?
Oh, yeah. Am
I the best at this? And it's like, how do I tell you that I think you're doing great?
Yeah.
But if you are asking me if you're the best at it, no.
She's fishing for daily affirmations.
Yeah. Which I want to give her, obviously. But I don't want to inflate her ego, because I think her ego could be out of control. I'm serious.
There's a fine line between, like, you know, giving your kids positivity and self-confidence, and then also, like, I don't know, you see, I know you're not heading in this direction, but you see sort of like, usually they're only children kids, where it's like they're not used to like competing with other people or not being the best, and they just get very like entitled, and they're not used to sharing the spotlight or being told that they are not the best at something. They go
that's
full... tough to navigate for any kid, not just an only child kid. But
no, you're right. It's very much like that. She's just, you know, she's a very bright little girl, and she's just very verbose too for her age. Like, she has a great a vast vocabulary.
Yeah,
like, she says words that, like, I'm like, I don't even know how you know that word. But I love it because, like, I love words, and like I'm really into that. So she's just gonna be my writer, I guess. But I want to encourage that while also keeping her grounded. Yeah. Because I don't want her to be like thinking she's the best at this and this and that, and then go for a heartbreak when she realizes she's not.
Right. Like, Mom and Dad told me I was the best at this.
Yeah.
It seems like a situational thing.
It is. Like, if she's doing something like pretend, and she's like, oh, am I the best at being this? I'm like, yeah, you're the best Kirby. Like, you are. Yeah. Like, Slay.
It's too slay. It's too bad she doesn't want to be a Kirby for Halloween, because I'm sure they must make they make so many of those inflatable costumes now. That'd be so cool and easy.
I wish she was.
But instead, she chose something with 9 tails and 7 of them are metal.
Yes.
Very cool.
But the reason that I was saying this was because I never got around to this, but 9 is a smart character. Like,
oh right, I forgot.
9 is always very intelligent, because Tails is intelligent, but this is like more.
And that's her favorite Sonic character, right?
Yeah. She loves Tails, but this is a even more like boastier, like smarter version of Tails.
Ooh.
And 9 apparently says something like, "Oh, that's easy," or "That was easy for me." So she started saying that.
Oh, that's where she got that from?
That was easy for me.
Oh, okay. I heard her say that.
I know. She's a parrot.
Yeah.
She like will hear shit and just parrot that shit out.
I'm the same way. I've been doing that Kevin James meme for like the entire week of it being in existence.
I'm glad I showed you something and you used it.
I mean, it was being used a lot on Twitter for Survivor. Actually, a lot. So I feel like, I mean, you let me in on it right when it was like,
it was happening that day
in its infancy. Yeah. I probably would have found out about it sooner. And maybe just thought it was stupid, but now I use it, so it's whatever. Me thinking I'm not going to use the Kevin James meme. Also me.
He self-promoted with this. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, he's doing like a concert or like a comedy tour.
Oh,
he self-promoted with that image on Instagram. So he's self-aware. Like he understands
okay.
It.
I thought that
he's in on the joke.
That's good.
I'm like, that's cool.
Good job, Kevin.
Kevin James.
But anyway, keep getting off track. But yeah, so I parrot things even as an adult, like she does as a 6-year-old. So it is what it is.
Sure.
But unless she chooses something within the next 2 weeks, she's still gonna be a Yoshi as planned.
She'll be a Yoshi, or she'll have to go to the store and pick out one of those ones that are the store. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that must be stressful for Ashley, who like, since literally they were born, every Halloween she would pick what they were gonna be and get costumes custom made, and
that's her thing. Like she's really good at that, and also like
a true cosplayer.
She's a cosplayer.
Yeah,
she enjoys it, and then she had 2 beings that couldn't object, so they
can.
She put them into whatever she wanted because they didn't have a choice and they didn't care. And
they came out really well. They were knit and or crocheted. I can never actually make myself remember what the difference is because they both use yarn. And in past iterations, they were Jon Snow and Daenerys, and then they were also Link and Zelda. I'm sure there's another one I can't remember right now. Yeah, I don't know. Like similar to Christmas, Halloween also I think it becomes really fun again when there's youth around and their innocent eyes. The youths. Well, I mean it is for Christmas too because they have such like this unbridled sense of like they don't hold their emotions back and they're not jaded by the world or anything or the consumerism or whatever. So like experiencing Christmas, like watching them again. Is really nice and fun, and
that's one of my favorite parts. Is just
gets
like
the holiday spirit going, and Halloween's probably gonna be the same as well. So I'm literally coming off of driving a cumulative like 6 hours and 24 hours time to and from Maine. I passed by a lot of like there's some
deer.
Yes, but I passed by a lot of houses that really are already in the Halloween spirit. Mm-hmm. Something that my yard and now your yard is big enough for that I kind of want, but like I don't know what I would do with it the rest of the 11 months of the year is those 10-foot skeletons. There were a couple houses in Maine that had those 10-foot skeletons. So cool.
Are you gonna get one?
I don't know because I could, like I said, I don't know where I would put it for 11 months. It's like
the attic.
Oh, there's nothing up there now.
Yeah.
We put a bunch of insulated foam up there, so there's literally nothing up there now except for like a walkway of baseboards.
Oh, so you can't put anything up there.
Also, you've seen our attic. So my grandfather built my house, and there's some things that he planned to do with the house when he built it that just never happened. One of them was what is now a closet was supposed to be a stairway going up to the attic. Instead, we have a basement, and then you pull down the ladder to go to the attic above the basement stairs, and the bottom of the ladder for the attic hangs like it hits the edge, like the threshold.
Yep.
of the floor right before the basement stairs. You're literally above, like.
We have the same thing.
You have that's horrifying.
The same thing.
And I'm actually too short to pull the string down.
Too short?
my rapper name.
There's already a rapper named Too Short.
Dang it. All right, whatever. I don't go in the attic. I never have, because I'm too short to even like pull the thing down and get the ladder down anyway. Darn. Oh no. But I can't imagine like trying to shove a 10-foot skeleton up those stairs, like how that would work. I don't know.
So.
But I want it anyway.
You have room in your basement.
I know I do, but like
I know you don't want to crowd it.
I don't want to crowd it.
Your garage is pretty empty, right?
I mean, our cars are in there. If I could just rent it, like if my library that does library of things, if we could just get a 10-foot skeleton, but I don't know where I would put. I don't know. The problem is really just what to do with it afterwards. Like, there's a lot of people also when I was driving in around Maine, that had a lot of those inflatables and stuff too.
Yes.
I couldn't do. I wouldn't know what to do with those either. Mm-hmm. Those are a little easier to pack away, but
they're easy to pack away, but I don't know. They just never look great either.
I appreciate people who really go all out with their like outdoor decorations.
Yeah.
We live kind of on the offskirts of we live in a neighborhood, but we're like on the offskirts, and so people don't like constantly drive by our house to see our decorations. So there's not a whole lot of motivation except for us to come in and say, "Oh, I feel like this. The Halloween spirit." Yeah, I want other people to see it though. So, but I don't know. I do kind of want that skeleton still. I got inspired by some of the people in Maine doing that. Which is honestly more spirited than people in the area of Maine I was in. It's more spirited than I expected them to be. So
Halloween's awesome. It
is.
I remember being like 5 years old, and there was like a haunted house set up in the apartment complex that we were renting from.
That's cool.
And I remember going there when I was like 5 and being very scared and like, oh my God, this is very scary. I am 5. What is happening? Why am I doing this?
I love haunted houses.
Yeah.
There's one in Massachusetts that's yearly. It's called Barrett's Haunted House. That I go to yearly.
I have a hard time with them.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why is that? Or you mean just haunted houses in general?
Mm-hmm.
Josh always his first reaction is to like hit something if he's scared.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Huh.
So like
I didn't know you did that too.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Well. I guess I don't really know how to help you with that one, but
there's no helping it. I just don't go.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also going to Salem, which is also something that Josh and I are planning to do. The trick, though, with going to Salem is you don't want to go in the second half of October because that's a nightmare. There's so many people, and it's crowded. And we did that one year before, and it was so crowded, and it was horrible. This was pre-COVID, obviously, because I wouldn't do that now. So the trick is to go. It's like when we were trying to plan on when to go to P-Town. The trick is to go when the weather's nice, but not like during a holiday, but also you don't want to like miss out on anything. So that's the trick with Salem also, is you want to keep it in the Halloween spirit. Yeah,
I've never been, but I've always wanted to go.
It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like real stuff too, like not haunted house stuff. Like there's a pathway of all the people who got persecuted for being witches.
Yeah.
They have like little memorial stones and stuff for them. It's cool. But it's like a day trip. Like if you can't afford Disney and you're a goth, then go to Salem. It's pretty much what that is.
That's cool.
But you don't want to go in the second half of October. So
yeah, it sounds like that'd be hell.
Halloween.
Halloween.
But that's usually what I do these days. Nobody comes to my house to trick or treat. I've done things where I've seen people online where they're like, "Oh, if people come, I'm gonna have regular size candy bars," and no one comes, and so Josh eats them. We just watch scary movies at home and we eat candy. So that's our Halloween because we don't have kids. So
yeah, we'll be taking the kids out, but one of us is gonna have to stay because we moved.
First time, for the first time ever, you guys.
There's actually people in this neighborhood. Like
well,
sorry. There's people in the other place too, but the problem was that it was so close to the fucking road that nobody would.
Your horrifying like sharp corner road.
No one's like, yeah, no, I'm not sending my kids out to like trick or treat there.
No,
like, I get that.
But it's safe to walk this neighborhood, and there are sidewalks, and it's off of a main road.
Yes.
Which is great. Mm-hmm. That's a really appealing thing for children who want to do things like play in the street or something.
I know.
So.
But yeah, barring that, it should be pretty cool to see them going around in their costumes and experiencing that again. And I don't know, maybe we'll do something. I don't know.
So now, do you have any sort of music that you like to listen to around Halloween time or maybe before?
Nope.
No? Wow. Little liar. He's lying to you right on live broadcast.
Yeah, I like a lot of the typical fucking Halloween music. One.
Yeah.
The Monster Mash.
It's timeless, man. It's one of those timeless ones.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like to listen to Thriller. I think that's pretty cool. A ton of other songs, like any like darker like metal bands, I think are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially around this time of year.
Yeah.
My Chemical Romance, because they're always very dark and macabre.
Yep.
Right? Probably other Halloween songs that I don't know, but I'm thinking I might.
Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell, the one-hit wonder. I find that one a Halloween song.
That one's crazy.
Yeah, the music video is pretty creepy too. Well, creepy and like, because it's like it's just a weird, like, it's a campy song, really.
It's a good song.
It is a good song, and we all know why.
But it's so crazy that like Michael Jackson's like
he like did it as a favor.
In the chorus.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I don't know. At that point, he was so established, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just very strange for the time, I think. But.
Very strange. He is pretty like intrinsically involved in Halloween between that and Thriller. Which I find.
And he had another music video / movie thing that he did called Ghosts, and that was like in the 90s.
Yes. Yep.
Which I really like that one too.
I watched that.
So I watched that. I'll watch like movies like Beetlejuice and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
There's some Halloween. See, I never really watch like I still have never seen Ghostbusters because I'm a horrible heathen.
Why do you say that every time?
Just horrible.
Why do you say that?
I deserve.
I'm sure
jail.
Like you're not the only one who hasn't seen fucking Ghostbusters.
I've never seen the new one either, just for the record. So I've never seen any of them. But because my Halloween movies lay usually within Disney Channel original movies. Halloween Town, the only one. Like I'm never, like I said this before anyway. I'm never gonna watch the sequel one, ever.
What, Calabar's Revenge?
Oh, we said this last time too. God
you
damn
did
it!
This
I did this last time. Oh my god!
You're talking about.
All right. I always mix up Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town by name. I don't know why. Halloween Town, I did watch all three of them. We did talk about this last time. Hocus Pocus, the new one, I'm not going to watch the second one. Okay, I'm back on it now.
They are not the same, okay?
They are not
the same.
This is Halloween Town. This is Hocus Pocus. We are not the same.
They are not.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay, well anyway. Disney Channel original ones. There's one that had one of the aunts, I always mix up Hilda and Zelda from Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but it was called Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
Yes.
That one.
Shit, who was she? Was she Zelda? She was Hilda.
It was Hilda? Okay. There was one called Phantom of the Megaplex.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Disney ones. Twitches with Tia and Tamara Mowry.
Yep.
And there was a sequel to that one, and that one was really like whatever. It was sort of but yes. All right, now I know what I'm talking about. Halloween Town, great. Kimberly J. Brown, the main girl, super cute.
Yes.
So, can't believe I mixed them up again. And I really do appreciate Hocus Pocus. I don't know if they did it for the second one, but the first one where they did film it in Salem.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of those, I think there's tours in Salem too, where it's like you can go and see the spots where they filmed certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. They did film it in Salem, I think.
Yeah. On location, make it more authentic. And it's kind of funny because Salem doesn't really have, especially for the locations they used in Hocus Pocus, like they could have filmed it just anywhere. I'm sure they filled in some of the spots. Like they didn't film entirely in Salem, but there wasn't really anything there that they like I don't know, like if you were filming another Disney Channel original movie, it's like My Date with the President's Daughter with Will Friedle.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And it's like, well, you have to film it in Washington D.C. because that's where all the stuff is.
The song for that movie,
My Date with the President's Daughter,
it's in my head forever.
Yep.
Man. Like,
it's just,
it wasn't a good song.
No,
either.
it wasn't, but it was catchy.
It was. That was the worst part, is that it was so fucking catchy, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was not good.
No, nope.
So bad.
But like Hocus Pocus was one where it's like there isn't a set like landmark or anything. Like they could have not filmed it in Salem and said they did, and it'd been like, okay,
Sure.
I wouldn't have known, but I admire their commitment. Talking about Disney Channel original movie songs made me think of so do you remember Get a Clue with Lindsay Lohan and Brenda Song? I forget what the premise of it even was. They were all like rich Brooklyn kids or something.
Yeah.
But I forget what the premise was, except for that Lindsay Lohan and Brenda Song were very attractive in that also. But anyway, there was a song for that called Get a Clue, and it was by this animated band from Canada.
Okay.
And their name is they're called Prozac, but they changed it because that's a bad name to have for an associated with a kids movie. So they changed it to the names of the people named Simon and Milo. I don't know. And I love that song. And they have other songs. Like this wasn't just a one-off band. They were kind of like Canadian Gorillas, kind of, sort of.
Neat.
So they have a whole bunch of anime stuff. So if that sort of style of song and or artist is your thing,
Hell yeah.
look up. I think it's I forget how they spell Prozac in this. It's spelled differently. How do you spell it? I think it's just Prozac. It's like with 2 Ks. Yeah, it's Prozakk.
This is the second time I've heard of Prozac in like 2 weeks, and the first
band or the
well, the name of the band refers to the drug, and I think you showed me like an old Prozac commercial or something.
Oh,
like some lost media shit.
It might have been Survivor.
Maybe
that woman who sang Bye Bye Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prozac. Yeah, you're right, it is. Prozac's been the theme of our month here in September. September is Prozac month. But anyway, God, now I just want to like binge. Like, I should really watch. We have Disney Plus. I should binge some of the original movies, the DComs.
I will be watching Halloween Town sometime soon.
I will be
really
as
like
well.
that one.
And I remember that it's called Halloween Town and not Hocus Pocus.
I've never seen Hocus Pocus.
I really like it.
I've seen parts
very
of it.
90s, which I like.
Yeah, I'm not.
But it's like early 90s, so there's some stuff where it's like I was like the grunge era, like I was too young to really understand that.
Sure.
And so it's like, all right, yeah, but I like it. It was good, and the costumes designs were really good too.
I think I watched the first one, but I don't really care to watch the sequel.
It's just never. I mean,
did you see the sequel?
For Hocus Pocus?
Yeah.
No, and I never will.
Okay.
That one I've gotten. That's the name I've gotten correct in my mind from the last time we talked now too, where they just remade the second one because the internet started treating it like a Christmas story and like hyping it up a lot, and saying we need a sequel. Oh my gosh, we don't. You think you do, you don't. But Halloween Town had sequels that I did watch, and I think. I don't know why. I think it was because they were made so close together.
Yeah.
The third one was made like a few years after the fact. So that felt a little disjointed, I guess. But
it was like the first and second Xenon. Like that problem occurs in the first.
Xenon.
I think the first Xenon's pretty good. The second one I still liked because I was a kid and I liked Kirsten Storms. Like a huge crush on her.
And Raven was in that too.
She was.
Raven Simone.
She was. And those were made pretty much like back to back too, but the second one isn't as good, I think, as the first.
Yeah. I think that's to be expected with that sort of thing. Sometimes the sequel is better or on par with the original, and sometimes it's Hocus Pocus 2, I guess. I was just looking up other Halloween Disney movies.
Oh, I don't.
Did you ever see The Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy?
Yes, I did.
You did? Okay, I never saw that.
It was on HBO one year, like every fucking day.
Really?
Yeah. And it wasn't even a Halloween time. It was like, I don't know, probably like April. And it was on every fucking day.
Huh.
Yes.
I did not know.
It's not good.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Oh, well, That's unfortunate.
They remade it too. They just remade it, like this year, and it's not good.
Oh, that's right. Well, that got overshadowed by a lot of movies though too, like Paw Patrol.
Oh, Paw Patrol had a movie?
Yeah, Paw Patrol had a movie. And Barbie and Oppenheimer and whoever else. So,
well, I thought I read a review that said it wasn't very good. Like it wasn't.
Well,
it wasn't really.
I think it was just one of those things where maybe it was kind of cash grabby, or it was like hyping on this whole, like, we're still kind of on this nostalgia train about like, let's remake the things that people really liked or whatever.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't really work. So since we dressed up as these last Halloween,
what's this?
We've been watching Survivor, the first season.
Yes.
At the same time, the 45th season just premiered, and I have to tell you, like, watching them both like within the same week, like I watched Survivor season 1 here, and then the next day the season for 45 one premiered. It is so weird.
Didn't I tell you that was gonna be weird?
It's so weird and different and so.
I said that exact fucking comment. I'm like, is it weird that you're about to start the 45th season while watching the fucking first season?
It's so bizarre. And like, so we've been jumping around a little bit, but now I've got us on a linear track and we're starting from the very beginning.
Correct.
And it's kind of funny how laid back like the earlier seasons really are, because they really were just like kind of like throwing darts at a board or whatever and seeing what landed, sort of thing.
I know.
It's so, I don't know, it's so interesting too.
It's really evolved.
Yes. And it was filmed in 2000, because Survivor can make 2 seasons a year. So it's usually a February premiere and a September premiere for their seasons. So we're on the September premiere now, which is great. And they have 90-minute episodes now, which they didn't before. And I was worried that the pacing would be, because they are doing 90-minute episodes because of the writer's strike. Trying to pad out time and stuff. So Amazing Race also has 90-minute episodes also.
Holy shit.
So they're trying to, and I was worried about the pacing, or like if it would feel too, like, I don't know, bloated or whatever, but the pacing was actually very good for this premiere episode. A pretty historic premiere episode of Survivor 45, because
why is that?
There's a tribe that's a mess. Here's the thing. So like, spoilers. There's a woman whose name is Hannah, and she is on a tribe that didn't have the best start anyway. Kind of a little bit of a mess. They're a mess. They're a mess of a tribe. And she ended up, the episode ended with her saying that she didn't want to be there anymore and she quit. So she was the first boot, technically. Which is funny because in the betting pool I'm in, usually the first voted off is the free one. But since she didn't get voted off, she's not free. So the person who had her still has to pay, which is really funny.
Damn.
But okay, so what I read up on was, because thanks to you, I made this whole like put yourself in Hannah's shoes, like written like piece about her. Like I put myself in the character of Hannah.
Good.
And wrote about her experience under 3 days of Survivor. 3 out of 26, by the way. I think they're still doing 26 days instead of 39. What I failed to realize was that the main reason apparently that she couldn't hack it was because she really was suffering from extreme nicotine withdrawal.
Oh.
Because she vapes, I guess.
Oh, shit.
So part of the reason really was she was like struggling with withdrawals from nicotine.
Why didn't she quit sooner?
Right. Yes, exactly. It's like, if you know you're going to be on the show, like, you should quit that shit sooner, Hannah. Like,
get those withdrawals out of the way, like,
yeah,
a month. Because they don't just, do they pick you and then, like, you're gone the next day? Or is it like they pick you and you have some time to prepare?
You have a couple of days to prepare, because sometimes there could also be, like, if they pick alternates also, if for whatever reason a person can't do the show, but they have to do, like, you know, photos for the press photos, and like cast interviews, like preseason interviews and stuff like that. So they do a day or two, I think, of it for the newer seasons. I don't know about the older seasons, because from the ones we've watched, you know, they like literally are like, surprise, you're starting now.
Yeah. And
you don't really have time to prepare. But this one, even if like she got cast as an alternate and not even like officially on the cast,
Mm-hmm.
that's your time to quit.
Oh yeah.
Like you have, I don't know, we met Denise that one time and I don't remember how long she said, but they went to China, so that was pretty much a big ordeal thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have time. Like even if you're like auditioning, you probably should just quit sooner anyway. Mm. There's a lot you can do to prepare besides reading articles.
I was gonna say, if you're really thinking about trying out for it, you might want to quit while you're auditioning.
Yeah.
Like,
for any show, if you know you're going to be separated from like certain luxuries, especially a show literally called Survivor where you're separated from any luxury, you kind of want to make sure you prepare yourself. People like they gain weight purposely. Like they eat a ton of like just unhealthy crap so they can like have weight to work, like to keep themselves alive on, because they're not going to be eating. So there's seasons with like Boston Rob's a good example actually, because he gets like chubby but for a reason, because you're like starving out there, so you want extra weight. Russell Hanson's another one too. You purposely put on more weight to burn off and and keep yourself, I guess, somewhat insulated.
Sure.
Things like that, you know, kind of basic things. Sometimes you get like a dossier or whatever, like Denise did, about like, here are the poisonous things, do not touch this. I don't know. So the whole like nicotine withdrawal thing was so I don't know.
Yeah, wait. I didn't know that until just now, and like we kind of had talked about this. Like, if you're gonna be doing this kind of shit, like you have to get into the mindset of like, I might be cast. Yeah. And if I'm cast, I won't have the shit that I do every day, especially like nicotine. Like, it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, they do like they health screen these people too, and to make sure, because you don't want to be like having several medical conditions that you are dependent on medication for and being on a remote island, you know. But you don't need to have nicotine, sorry to say, you don't. So it's like similar, like you don't need to have caffeine or whatever. It's not as serious as like, I don't know, if you need Prozac, for example. I don't know. Right. But it's not a, you know, it won't like hurt your health overall if you don't have nicotine.
You're just irritable.
You're just irritable. and I mean, I understand in the elements and you're stripped away of everything you've come to know for your comfort.
But
that
you're like that you're signing up for this. Though. Yeah. It's like,
so. Yeah, the internet was none too kind with her. They said that she took the spot of somebody else that could have been on there. And it was just sort of a fizzle out of what I actually thought was like, despite the mess that was that tribe, like I really liked that episode. I thought it was really good.
That was a.
I was live.
I didn't see it, but I saw it here.
I was live messaging it to you because I wasn't going to, but there was so much stuff happening. That's really the perk of these 90 minutes, especially for these like shorter days seasons, is because like part of the problem from past like regular hour episodes of the 26-day seasons is people are like, I'm really close with this person, and I'd be like, really? Like, why? When did that happen? Yeah. You know, like, so now you see a little bit more of the dynamics of it, which I like. So yeah, so she deleted her Instagram before the season premiered because I think she knew that she would not be received too kindly online, and she wasn't. Right. So, I mean, I'm sympathetic to an extent, but it's also like, if you do not prepare the way you probably should before you do a show like Survivor, like this isn't, I don't know, this isn't like, I don't know, it's not like any other reality show where they could at least give you, you know, cigarettes or vape or whatever. Sure. You don't get anything on Survivor. Like, I don't know. It's just common sense to me. But
do you get to bring cigarettes into the Big Brother household like that? Yes. Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So, yeah,
that one's way easier.
and like I said now, so it's funny with that, and you compare it to and she even had like past Survivor alumni on Twitter, because I was watching Twitter live also as I was watching the episode. Yeah. Eliza from Survivor Vanuatu, which we haven't seen yet, and Survivor Fans versus Favorites. Yep. Was like posted this selfie of her giving the stink eye to this. She was like, this girl wants to quit after 3 days.
She's like, this is you're looking at a combined 97 days or something like that.
Because Eliza got far in her previous season that she was on, which we haven't seen yet, but spoiler, she doesn't win that one. So, and then another player who is also in a season we haven't seen. So yeah, it was her having done the show twice, and then one who got pretty far giving the stink eye to Hannah. But so again, I'm sympathetic to an extent, but at the same time, it's like, because some people were trying to defend Hannah, be like, it's really great that they talked about like anxiety and stuff like that, but it's also like, this is self-inflicted. Like, I understand if you're normally like an anxious person, but if you are anxious because you just decided to not give up something that really affects your mood, that is optional, you know, vaping is optional. Sorry to say, surprise, I know. That's kind of on you. Like, I do agree, like, there have been past seasons too where people have anxiety and they openly talk about it, and it's a really nice, like, conversationally, like, to see people who are like overcoming anxieties to literally do like start from square one and have no like comfort or buffer or anything to help them with their anxieties, and those are nice. But then there's Hannah, and her anxiety was spurred by something that she could have controlled, so you know, what are you gonna do?
You know, it's not enough. Some would say that it's not enough to just get up off the couch.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You have to put in the work. You have to dig deep.
Okay, Jeff. I sent you a picture of Jeff Probst reacting to Hannah wanting to quit, and you were like, wow, he looks old. Because we're watching season 1, and he's like in his mid-30s in this season.
Yeah.
It's such a crazy juxtaposition, though. We watched one episode of season 1 where they didn't prepare the voting area of tribal council at all, because it's the first season.
It was so bad,
and
man.
It downpoured, and they usually have this big fire pit like in the middle that like illuminates everybody and like makes it atmospheric and stuff.
It burned out.
And it completely got drenched in rain. And then also they were like, go to the voting confessional area and say your piece quickly and come back. And as Jeff's reading the votes, not only are some of the like the markers like running, but he's like holding it and trying to make it seem like you can't see through the paper.
Like, Jeff, we can see it.
It
also
says Stacy. I see it. You don't have to hide it.
Stacy.
I think it was Stacy. I don't remember who went home
I don't remember
that raining episode. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It was funny. I don't know. I mean, after 45 seasons, you'd hope that they learned what to do and what not to do. And so it's funny because the voting area for this current season is so elaborate, and they have like a bunch of little huts that do nothing. They're not like, they have one that is for the voting area, but then they have other little huts for nothing. So my thought is maybe that's where they hide their cameras or something to get like good camera angles and stuff.
Yeah, they probably do, and all their like sound equipment and shit, so it doesn't just show on set.
That's a new thing they do, though. They never like made a bunch of like huts that do nothing before. But whatever.
They're saving so much money. They got that tax credit.
30% off to film in Fiji. The 13th season in a row they're filming in Fiji. This first season of Survivor's in Borneo, so that one was different and fun. But and it's interesting culturally because like I'm talking about how like anxiety is brought up in a very naturally casual way. Meanwhile, you've got season 1 where you've got like former Marine Rudy or Navy SEAL Rudy, 72-year-old, looking at spoilers, the winner, Richard Hatch, who is gay, being like, I've become good friends with him, but not in a homosexual way, and whatever. It's like,
there's a couple homophobes on this season, actually, and it's not just Rudy. Like, Rudy is
Dirk is the other one, I think, the Christian guy. Yeah.
He's actually worse than Rudy because
that whole thing. Okay, this is not to diss religion, but like Dirk was like, I don't want to hear about Rich being gay. Like, all gay people talk about is being gay. Meanwhile, he's like, my comfort item is a Bible, and here I'm going to recite why I believe that virginity is good because of the Bible. Like, you can't be a hypocrite. And like, I mean, I guess you can be a hypocrite and be religious, but like, you're a hypocrite. And that's also not at all, like, Richard didn't even want to talk about it. He just kind of brought it up like days later.
Yeah.
He didn't go, hi guys, I'm Rich and I'm gay. Like, that's not what happened. Like, it's so weird, this weird revisionist history.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he was.
But it was 2000. I don't know. So
he was just like, I'm not gonna deny it. Like, I'm not gonna hide it.
Yeah.
Because he's not ashamed of it. And he wasn't. Oh my god, this thing where people are like, I don't want it brought up. Like, I don't want you to bring it up in my face. Like, like Stu. You know what I mean?
Have you seen Stu since?
I have one time. Only one time.
Okay.
That motherfucker goes places. Like, he's busy, man.
Okay. Oh, you just seen him in passing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought there was another interesting conversation with him.
He's living his life. Holy fuck.
I guess so.
Anyways, but like, that kind of gets thrown around a lot in this season with Dirk, because Dirk is like, oh, I don't want it to be brought about and brought up in just casual a conversation. We're trying to have a conversation, and I don't want you talking about this and that. Yeah. And he just goes off on like a fucking biblical rant. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
It's just very strange and hypocritical.
I hate it.
But Rudy is like, I mean, in it's 2000. Like he just passed away a couple of years ago. He was in his 90s. So like, in the context of like a 70-year-old in 2000, he grew up in literally an entirely different generation. So him understanding, like, I don't know, that a gay person apparently can be like strong and smart and strategic or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not homophobic more than it's just like ignorant, I guess, because it's not something that he ever experienced in his time. So there's I find it oddly wholesome in like the loosest way.
I was thinking of how to phrase that earlier. Oddly wholesome is a good way to say it. I don't know.
He does say homosexual like it's kind of like a tainted word or something, not in a homosexual way or whatever, but
he's literally doing. He was the first no homo, like.
Yeah, but he hangs out with Rich, so it's not like Dirk where he's like like bashing Rich for something he can't control, like Rudy. Like
no, they have a genuine like friendship, and I think you told me like they had a genuine friendship up until he passed, right?
Yep.
Which is pretty good. I mean, that means there was a connection there. Like he understood.
Yeah, which is why Survivor is such a good like conversation piece for different walks of life coming together in situations that they normally wouldn't find themselves in. Like Rudy probably would have never met a gay person in like by choice in his life, or
I was gonna say not of his own free will,
but he's stranded on an island with one, and he's finding that, hey, when you kind of strip down sexual preference, he's just a guy, which is like kind of a no shit moment, but also like again it's him coming to understand that like I think my favorite thing that he says is like, he's gay but he's good. It's like he like in a like useful.
He's one of the good ones.
Well, I think he means like just useful, like around camp. So he's like
gay but he's good.
So maybe there was like a preconceived notion that like gay people were not like
gay is good.
Like okay, well yes, okay. True ally Rudy, rest in peace.
Right.
But anyway, so that's my whole rant about Survivor. Seasons 1 and 45. 45 is ongoing.
That was a good time.
The live messaging. Oh my god, there was so much happening.
There was a lot.
Oh my god, there was a lot. I really, even if you've never seen Survivor, if you can watch the first episode, it's chaotic and awesome. It's really great. There's a reason why it was like one of the pandemic shows, like along with America's Next Top Model, that people were binging. You have 40 seasons to binge during COVID. Like, why not?
Plenty to choose from.
Yeah. You can start pretty much anywhere. I mean, it makes more sense if you start maybe with the earlier ones, but you jumped in from season, oh god, I can't remember what season Palau was. Mid-teens season.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, there's a lot. There's something for everybody. So
very true.
Which is good because my other note here is that the writer's strike is over. Yay. The SAG-AFTRA strike is still ongoing, which is the actors' end of it, but the writer's strike is ended. They came to a tentative agreement. It's really funny too. Like, I was kind of bummed out that for an episode when I went and talked about like Drew Barrymore is a scab or whatever, that sort of got squashed before that episode even came out because she rescinded her returning her talk show before our episode came out, so it was old news. But it's kind of funny how had she just waited a couple weeks, like
it would have just ended anyways. Yeah. She
would have been fine. This whole thing would have been fine. It's really funny too because the day I remember watching this, so like I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday that the writer's strike ended. Me and my mom watching Survivor, they had a promotion for the Colbert show that was going to start on the following Monday.
Oh wow.
Like less than a week. It's like you guys were holding on to this promo clip like 4 weeks and
just waiting.
Yeah, waiting. Yeah. Like you didn't just paste this all together as soon as the writer's strike ended and post it. Like you guys were waiting to announce the return of it.
They know what they're doing, man.
Yeah. So I mean so I'm assuming if they came to an agreement that the writers got hopefully most of, if not all of what they
Well, I have a video for you to watch, and it will explain it.
Okay, because I read about what their demands were, but I haven't read up on what the agreement ended up being. So, and I hope the same can be met for the actors. I heard it was going to affect video games possibly as well, but that is also something I haven't read up on super much.
I don't know if it's happened just yet. People were talking about like
there was some fake thing about like here or like don't stream these video games because something, and people were like, that's not true. You can still stream playing these games.
Yes. Because they haven't made that decision yet. Like they haven't come to it.
It was a tentative list. Yes. They were like, these are the top 10 companies that are part of this like strike or that they are striking against or whatever. So, but it all
it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it seemed really speculative. So as far as I know, I guess you can still watch. I mean, people play video games or play them, stream them yourselves. So all in the clear, gamers.
Yay!
How you doing, fellow gamers?
How do you do, fellow gamers? I love that stupid fucking meme with Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, timeless.
The GOAT.
Yes, American treasure.
He really is.
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing much of these days. Has anybody seen Steve?
He's living his life.
Okay. Skateboarding.
Doing ollies. He's doing ollies.
Doing ollies. So.
Yeah, just like you dropping in.
Just dropping in.
It's dropping in.
Just dropping by.
Do you want to...
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with the...
Yeah. I'm so super satisfied.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm as satisfied as the writers after the writer's strike.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam Conover is a big proponent of the WGA. Like he was on the board or whatnot, and
yeah.
He's been a big voice in like the strikes. He has a pretty good breakdown and explanation of like what the terms are. So I'll show you that.
So check out that video, gang.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and support the writers.
Good. I'm glad that they got what they
support the actors.
Hopefully wanted.
I hope so.
It's good. A lot of people are striking now. Is the auto union that went on strike, and I think it's still on strike actually.
Because I think finally people are kind of realizing like workers are who make up like or who make these big people at the top.
Good.
Like, so they're realizing they can fight for more. Also, that showed up on along with that Colbert report. It's not. I call it the Colbert Report. It's Stephen Colbert Show, whatever it's called, Late Show, whatever. I don't know.
The Late Show.
I don't know all these like names of late night talk shows. I really don't.
Sure, it's the one with Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, along with that one for a preview was the soon to be premiere of 2 other or maybe 3 other reality television shows. And it's like that you can clearly tell was filmed during the writer's strike. Like we're gonna get an onslaught of really crappy like game shows, not reality shows, game shows.
Bring that shit back. We need a couple of those.
But they just don't. I don't know. So it depends, I guess, on what they are with the premises.
We need another Kid Nation.
Okay, that we do. I agree. We do need another Kid Nation. But like these are. I didn't mean to say reality show. These are like.
We need another shows. Average Joe.
Joe Schmo Show.
Oh yeah, that one.
Joe. There's the Joe Millionaire one was the other one. A lot of Joes. Joe Millionaire I watched also, where it was like, these ladies think that they're competing for the heart of a millionaire when in reality he's just a construction worker.
I think my mom and I watched the first season and then we didn't watch the other ones.
Yeah, they did make a second one, but at the same time, that's hard to make. Same thing with the Joe Schmo Show, because they did make a second of that one of that too.
Yeah, they did.
And they used a woman, I think, instead. Ooh, so progressive.
Oh my gosh.
But the problem with those shows is like, especially in the mid 2000s, reality shows were getting a lot of like, they were at like their height as far as people like really caring about reality shows and stuff. So once shows that are based around like fooling somebody get really big in the news and the media, it's kind of hard to find people who like have not heard of these shows before to dupe them or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if I don't know, like say, I don't know, a famous serial killer like Ted Bundy or something was around like today. It's hard to find jurors who maybe had not, like, you want to find jurors that are impartial because they never heard of it. That's really hard to do for certain like high profile things. To me.
I agree.
So it's kind of hard to replicate the magic of like Joe Millionaire and stuff, and Joe Schmo, all the Joes, when it's been done before. Yeah. And so keep your eyes peeled for some questionable quality game shows coming to a TV near you. Very exciting.
Super MILF Island.
Oh my God. We've talked about this before. So gross. That show's gross. And I'm not here to judge as far as preferences. If you like MILFs, good for you. But the premise of that show in particular is, I think everyone gross.
Does. But
it's so gross.
The premise is weird.
Because it's mothers and sons. It's gross. That's what makes it gross.
Yeah.
Make it all unrelated people. Like, why do they have to be related? Whose idea? I don't know. It's
because they wanted to capitalize on that. That's
that cringe awkward factor. You won, but that makes me not want to watch it. So you did the opposite. Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah. When I heard the title at first, I'm like, "Whoa, what is this? I want to see what this is." And then I saw clips online.
Yeah, I saw
a couple clips.
Me too.
Not a shit ton, but like maybe one or two, and it was very fucking cringe.
Yeah, there was one clip that I saw where it was like the moms had to identify which son was their son by like touching them shirtless, but the moms were blindfolded.
Yeah,
that's weird. That's gross and weird. It's I'd be really hard pressed to find any regular mom who knew who her son was by touching his boobs. It's weird. You're feeling up your kid. It's weird. It's just weird. There's no getting around it. And like I said, this isn't like dunking on men who like older women, because like I don't care as long as you're two consenting adults. But the premise of it being all like literally keeping it in the family is very weird. Yeah. It's just very weird.
It's back the way you came.
God. Oh my God.
That does lead it. Holy shit.
Okay.
Go for it. I'm so excited.
This is the weirdest tangent ever. And we've talked about this before, but we have a doc that we keep up on the side to keep us on track of what we want to talk about. And on this doc, all it says on it is Muppets, because I don't even know how to start this. This is going to be the weirdest thing I've talked about. I don't know, not this year, maybe these couple of episodes on this podcast.
Okay, try me.
Okay, so it all started when I was at work and I was ordering books, and I found this one that was called it was a Sesame Street book, and it's called Grover's 8 Nights of Lights, and it's a Hanukkah book.
Okay.
And I was messaging our friend who he wants me to say by name, Sean. Sean, this is for you because you wanted me to talk about this on the podcast. So Sean, I was messaging him because I was going to send this to you, but I sent it to him first, and he was like, "Is this canon?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so," because I looked it up, and Grover is canonically Jewish. Who would have thought? Because it's not like it's not like Sesame Street.
Wait. Yeah. So Grover is Jewish.
Grover's Jewish.
Okay.
So, and it's not like the Sesame Street characters celebrate Hanukkah. It's like literally they go to Grover's house and they celebrate Hanukkah, like because he celebrates Hanukkah because he's Jewish canonically. Okay. So strange. This somehow got off on a tangent of like, how do they know what like Muppet characters are canonically Jewish?
Yeah.
There are some that are canonically Jewish, as it turns out. And Sean found this article from this website called forward.com, which the subtitle is Jewish Independent Nonprofit. So this is written by someone who is Jewish, and he found this article that is called The Jewiest and Least Jewish Muppets. It is a ranking list of the most to least Jewish Muppets. And I think it's great, and I skimmed it a little bit because why ever? This was written also in May of 2020.
Oh my God.
Which is how we were bored as fuck in the pandemic. Okay. And this is evidence of it.
Okay, wait. I need you to stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I'm trying to understand what this is.
Okay.
This is a list.
Yep.
That a Jewish person wrote, right?
On an independent Jewish nonprofit website.
On an independent Jewish nonprofit website.
Yeah, it's an actual website with multiple writers. It's not like a blog. It's a website.
Okay. And this is their opinion of who's Jewish, or this is...
So there is also a Muppet Wikipedia
about
actually canonically Jewish Muppets.
Okay.
I'm going to look that up right now because I want to make sure that I am being factually correct here. But Grover is canonically Jewish.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. We got one called "Which Muppets Are Jewish?" and it says unofficial guide. All right. Well, okay. So, Statler and Waldorf says they're canonically Jewish.
Okay.
See, this is giving all of them and it just says Jew, not a Jew.
Jew.
Okay, so so this is another ranking thing, but I know that Statler and Waldorf were considered canonically Jewish also.
Okay.
God, this is such a weird. It's so weird. Like I said, this was not meant to be anything other than me showing Sean, hey, isn't this interesting that like Grover's canonically Jewish and and it turned into this. So, and good for them, I guess. Representation matters. I just wouldn't really have thought to use or thought of it for Muppets of any kind.
Well,
between Sesame Street and
if you're a kid and you're watching Sesame Street and you don't know what the fuck Judaism is at all because you're 3 and probably not Jewish, and you see that, it's interesting. It's like it's telling you about that. Like my kids, they like spit out facts about shit that I didn't think they would know all the time from shit that they watch.
So, but yeah, Grover's, I guess, been canonically Jewish for a while. But anyway, so
for a while he converted.
Born again. So here is me, not Jewish, and you, more Jewish than I, but not really. Not to discredit your ancestry results or anything, but so this article starts with a rabbi on Twitter who started this tweet that said, okay, let's do this. Religious affiliation of every single Muppet. I'll start. Statler and Waldorf are Jews, obviously, as is Fozzie Bear. Okay. So, yeah. So somebody ranked from most to least Jewish of Muppets, and they have like little blurbs for all of them, and I was losing my mind at some of their like reasonings for
this is
like,
awesome.
And not only do they rank them from most Jewish to least Jewish, but they also assign them what they think their religious affiliation is.
Okay.
Based on, I don't know. But again, I want to preface, I'm just reading it. I'm not a credible source because I'm not Jewish, so I guess I'm just reading. So Fozzie Bear, they say, is formerly Orthodox, now non-observant, which is like, how do you come up with these, like, I don't know. I guess they're referencing something that Fozzie Bear was in called Bear in the Old Country. So I guess maybe he really was canonically Jewish. But this is like, it's so heavy into this. It goes like, but Fozzie Sue broke with tradition to become an entertainer in the Borscht Belt, leaving his tenement home with nothing but a bindle and a seltzer bottle. Like, what is, like, I only understand some of this. So, all right. Okay. So I'm gonna go through this.
Go for it. Yeah.
Really quickly.
I would love to hear.
So Oscar the Grouch, conservative. So conservatively Jewish, I guess.
Okay. What is that? Okay.
I don't know. It says Oscar is sometimes ill-tempered but large-hearted monster with relations in Israel. Parentheses. Ooh, my goodness. He has a cousin whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce because I don't want to mess it up. But the last name is Ufnik. Why he likes to live in a trash can is his business, but many believe it's a political statement. This was written in 2020. Again, we were all bored as hell. There was nothing else going on. We couldn't go outside, so whatever. Miss Piggy, reform.
Same Miss Piggy's Jewish. Okay.
This diva is Jewish and heiress to the Piggy's department store fortune. How can such a creature be Jewish? She just is.
Wow. Okay.
Based on Snuffleupagus.
He's imaginary.
Snuffy gets docked points for not being real. It's like, okay. Yeah. You know how long it took me to figure out that he was just an imagination? I thought he really existed with.
Oh my God. It's a metaphor. Snuffy isn't real. He's hiding his Jewishness. He's ashamed of it.
Like he's hiding his real self.
Yes.
Grover, he was taken out of Hebrew school for hyperactivity, but as a profusion of children's books can confirm, he is still very involved in Jewish tradition. So,
okay.
It says Grover is actually his last name, so this one's pretty obvious. I actually did not know that Grover was his last name. I don't know what his first name is. We're learning so much Muppet lore. Did you think that this would this is why I said I thought this would be good to talk about in a couple months when it was closer to Hanukkah, but whatever. Screw it. I don't care. I'm not going to remember to talk about this again, and it's funny right now. So,
I love Muppets anyway, so you can bring them up whenever. It's awesome.
Bert is Jewish, but he's non-denominational.
Okay.
But Ernie is Unitarian, and I wish I knew what that meant. I really don't. Apparently, I guess that means he's just not as Jewish as Bert, so it's whatever. Gonzo, parentheses, alien / space conservative. Gonzo only discovered his space Judaism in 1999's Muppets from Space, but once he did, he realized his rich cultural heritage and annoyed the chickens in his act by taking space Shabbos, parentheses, Thursdays off. So I guess he is a space Jew. I don't know. It sounds weird to say.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just quoting. This is what they say.
Okay.
All right. So I skipped around a couple because there's some people who they have Scooter. Actually, he's a reconstructionist.
Okay. What about Skeeter?
Scooter. The Muppets' longtime stage manager was discovered reconstructionism, or it has some sort of, like, I don't understand this paragraph. The Muppets' longtime stage manager was shul shopping for a while before he landed here, but once he discovered reconstructionism, it just made sense to him, you know? No. No, I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something, but that's fine. There's someone on here named Dr. Teeth, and I don't remember who that is.
Oh, okay. I know who that is. Okay. Is he Jewish?
Yeah, he's culturally Jewish.
Culturally? Okay.
Yeah.
How about Rolf?
It doesn't list every single one, otherwise this would be the longest article ever, so it just lists the most to the least. Sweetums.
Sweetums?
Which they list as Kahanist, and it just says Sweetums is dangerous and should be avoided, which I agree. I was so scared of Sweetums. He scared the crap out of me.
He's humongous.
I didn't even realize
you were right, by the way. I just hit the table.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry.
He scared the crap out of me. Janice is also on here from the I forget the name
Dr.
of the band.
Teeth in Electric Mayhem or whatever, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I didn't remember what the name of the band was. But
something Electric Mayhem.
So she apparently is also Jewish.
Okay.
The paragraph starts with, she went in to have her deviated septum fixed and walked out without a nose. So half of this is like, because they're citing like Grover's thing is he's canonically Jewish in children's books, but then they're just making up lore for Janice, unless this is true. I really don't know. The Muppet history starts in the 60s, and that's a lot. It's a lot. So
have you ever seen those Wilkins Coffees ads?
Yes. Oh my God, the origin of Kermit.
You love it.
So funny.
Wilkins, he just like straight up shoots people with a gun.
We need short form commercials that you can get the point across in like 6 seconds and make it still funny.
Mm-hmm.
Like Muppet violence is not any worse than like having your 10-year-old play GTA. Just put Muppet violence back in commercials. Yeah, it's funny.
I love that shit.
All right, so now we have the least Jewish.
Okay.
So it's just a chunk of the least Jewish Muppets. Do you want to take guesses? I only know a couple least
Jewish. Yeah. Is this gonna be offensive? Like, is this offensive?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't guess. But because this is all from the Jewish person's analysis. So that's what's making me
the
okay
least
with repeating.
Jewish Muppet. There's a lot of Muppets.
There are.
Swedish Chef.
That's probably a good guess, actually. Yeah, that's a good safe guess. Okay. All right. So the first one up is Kermit, which they label as a Quaker.
What? What?
Kermit has some neuroses, to be sure, but he actually is a member of the Society of Friends.
Okay.
All
right.
This was one of the ones I saw before. Mm-hmm. Big Bird, Irish Catholic.
Yeah, I guess.
I want to preface once again that I am reading the article. I'm not saying this. Like Jews, Big Bird is plagued by doubt and full of questions, but his mannerisms are all indicate that he comes to them through Catholicism and may someday consider the priesthood. 2020 cool. Was a wild time. Like, it really just didn't exist. Animal. My favorite thing on here.
Animal.
Okay. A Jew does not play the drums this way, is all it says. What when I was talking with Sean about this, he was like, yeah, you know what? That's true. I'm like, what do you mean? Like okay. Cookie Monster's a Baptist.
Yeah, okay. I see it. Just loud and like easily infuriated. Sure.
It says that he's yet to find a church that he likes and briefly floated the idea of developing one where gorging on cookies was a sacrament.
Gotcha.
Okay, very cool. Sam the Eagle, Anglican.
I don't even know what that means.
Or Anglican.
Oh, okay.
Needs no explanation, but in case you were wondering, he is a staunch supporter of Israel. Oh my god. Jesus. I don't know if I should have like proofread this before, but it's funnier this way.
No.
The Yip Yips. I love these guys.
Yip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're evangelical.
Oh, that's horrible. Makes sense though.
The good news of Christ somehow reached them during their journey to Earth. They are Martians, yes, but Martians who know Jesus. This is such a weird article. It's my favorite thing.
I love this article. It's great.
Swedish chef Swedenborgian asked about his faith journey in Swedish. The chef described it in these terms: "Bork der Flickerstuben, you betcha." And then the last one is Elmo as Lutheran, and it just says not a Jew, in fact problematic, with a link, which I don't even know what this goes to. I'm gonna click it now, but he's apparently the least Jewish of them all.
That makes sense.
Oh, there was somebody in Times Square who dressed up as Elmo and proclaimed to be anti-Semitic.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
This article is great. I don't care that
this
it
was
was
in 2013. They did research from like almost 10 years ago. That's hilarious.
Well, like you said, people were bored. They had nowhere to go. They couldn't go out. So.
Like oh my god. And really, it was this person, this rabbi on Twitter, being like, "Screw it. Tell me who you think the most Jewish Muppet is and the least." And I love just how not only do they rank them, but they assign religions to them. How do you determine Big Bird is Irish Catholic? I just want to know. I don't really think I understand
he's just
that.
Big, tall, and goofy, and like he's.
And that's all Irish Catholics. Huh?
Yeah. Big, tall, goofy.
Animal is just simply not a Jew.
He's just not Jew. He's probably pagan. He's pagan.
Maybe. Their explanations are great. And hey, you know what? If a person who is Jewish says that a Jew doesn't play the drums that way, I guess I'm inclined to agree. I don't know. What expertise do I have? None. So
a Jew does not play the drums this way.
So anyway, thank you, Sean. This is now part of the podcast by your request. And now you know. Now you know my weird Muppet note on the podcast. It's fucking funny.
That's great.
So that was it. It had nothing to do with anything current event wise or anything. It was just somebody decided that they were going to rank all the Muppets by Jewishness. So then anyway, I guess we're going into the K-pop corner. Welcome to Tory's K-pop corner. I sped right through that song.
You did. Why did you speed so fast?
I don't know. It's just funny. So.
All right. So this is the K-pop corner.
It is the K-pop corner. So there's not. Okay. So, where do I start? Blackpink still haven't renewed their contracts yet, which is hilarious. Because they are the biggest moneymaker for their company. And it's kind of funny that, like, I mean, are you tapping to the beat of the song? The K-pop corner song? Are you? I'm not trying to call you out. I was just wondering. Oh, man.
Not anymore.
I feel bad now. I didn't mean. Sorry.
Go on.
It's kind of funny because, like, I've said this before, but I've never known a country to care so much about, like, companies than Korea and K-pop, because I don't know companies for any other, like, there's some that I do, but like otherwise it's not like life or death if they leave their company or whatever. But in K-pop, it's like they are affiliated with that company, and like a lot of people, I know a lot of K-pop companies. It's really stupid. It's so dumb that I know these things, but they're so intrinsically like intertwined in a weird way.
All right, go.
Weird capitalist
Name
way.
as many as you can, and
are you gonna time me?
Yeah, hang on.
Oh god. Okay.
Let me see.
I'm already trying to think of some.
Stopwatch. All right.
How long?
I'm gonna give you 30 seconds.
Oh, jeez. All right. Okay.
Wait. 15 seconds.
Okay.
1, 2, go.
Okay. So there's YG, there's SM, there's JYP, there's Hybe, there's FNC, Starship. Shoot. Who else is there? Who is Mamamoo company? Oh, RBW. Who else is there? Cube. There's oh no.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I was put on the spot. Was that like 8? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot though. And that's 8 more than I really know for people in other countries, companies. I don't know any more than many others. So.
Damn. Okay, cool.
But anyway, we're talking about YG. YG, they once had Big Bang and now they don't. They once had iKON and now they don't. They once had Psy and now they don't. They once had 21 and they royally screwed that up and now they don't have 21.
They have a record.
Yeah. So, follow me on Twitter if you want to see me make accidentally viral tweets. I made a tweet about this and it got like 10. I hate the views. I hate seeing views on Twitter. I have like 10,000 views on this one tweet. I was like, oh my God, stop looking at it.
How many likes?
280 last I checked.
Damn.
Yeah. So the consensus I've come to is with YG, they are really, really good at making really unique groups, but they are not good at maintaining them. Mm-hmm. They just sort of form them and then they go screw off and do something else or whatever. And YG artists are pretty notorious for being very like, they're like the cool kid table. Like they don't do a lot of like collaborations outside of their company. Mm-hmm. They're very exclusive. They don't go on a lot of music shows or variety shows. So they don't make themselves like, they make their coolness like that's their thing. So
okay, so they're
mysterious. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's always been their thing. But the problem with that is like they're not giving their artists many job opportunities. Like you see people from like SM, like there's a couple collaborations with some of the girls from aespa. You've seen like collaborations from like Taeyeon's done some and some other SHINee members have done some. Like there's a lot of collaboration things that happen because they give them job opportunities. There's a lot of people on variety shows that are idols because their companies give them that opportunity. And YG's just sort of like, nah. So their biggest moneymaker since they fumbled all those groups I just listed was Blackpink. They're still signed, but they're still in negotiation, which I find hilarious because it's been like over a week now. So the tweet I had made was something like, imagine having all these groups and I listed them all and then just not giving Blackpink whatever they want. Basically kind of like the writer's strike. Like the artists are what make the company what they are. So it's weird that like they're being really stingy and stuff when they have enough money to probably give them what they want. It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's this concept which again is really stupid because it's company related. It's called the Big Four, and you may have seen that in your travels.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So it's YG, JYP, SM, and now Hybe, which have BTS. And it's just like the most elite, like well-known companies. So people are saying that if Blackpink leaves YG, it's gonna take them out of the Big Four. Which, again, it's always been like kind of a rotating thing anyway. SM was one of like the first companies ever, so that's why they are there. Hybe has BTS, so that's self-explanatory. JYP has a really known solo singer who is the CEO, so that's how that happened. And then YG was like a nothing company, and Big Bang was what made them big. So it can change. Yeah. Bang. So it can change. Like it's not a set thing. Like these companies can just not be big companies forever. So this whole like hierarchy thing of like they're going to be taken out of the Big Four, like this weird like fantasy football thing is so weird to me.
Right.
But also like if Blackpink leaves, it's like their company's own fault. Like I don't know how you have like one of the biggest girl groups ever and then just like mess up so badly that they don't want to sign back on with you. So and we're at an age now because it used to be like company stands. I've talked about this before. So like people would be very sad if like their artist left a company, which is normal literally anywhere else. So like again, this whole like that's why this whole thing is so weird. It's just weird. And but now we're at a point where people are like actively celebrating when artists leave a company and they're finding their own footing. Yeah. So people are kind of
how it is, honestly.
So people want, and that's like Luna was a really big example of that too. It's like it's not worth it if the artist isn't happy, and all, especially if they're not getting treated right. Like when Luna wasn't getting paid at all.
Lunaverse.
Lusemble.
I don't like it.
They just won a lawsuit because their company keeps suing these poor girls for literally anything. So they sued the new company for the name Lucemble because they thought it infringed on the copywritten Luna name, and the courts found it didn't. Haha. So I don't know how they also keep having money to. I didn't even list BBC as a company.
BBC.
The bad BBC.
Yes.
The BBC that has nothing. But I don't know how they keep getting money to keep suing, but whatever. So people, like, it's not worth it for an artist to stay in a company that isn't treating them right, or, you know, isn't giving them opportunities that they should have. So people are kind of, as long as Blackpink stay together, people don't really care if they sign back on with YG or not, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's good.
And the only real update, because Blackpink had a finale concert on their anniversary date, which would have been, the contracts are usually 7 years in Korea for how long an artist signs on. So their 7-year anniversary was their finale concert, and they haven't done anything since because their contract's technically up. So the only news about what they're doing is, like, Lisa has been doing, like, some burlesque shows, actually.
Holy shit.
She's like, I've seen a picture. She's like the most clothed of all of them, but she's like also posed around women who are like covering up their boobs with like their arms and stuff. Like, it's pretty risque, which I think is great. I
have not seen the pictures, but I would like to.
There's just it's very, they don't let you film. They haven't let anybody film in this club, so it's only one official casting picture. Okay. And she looks great. Lisa looks great.
That's awesome.
And all the girls that went to go see her at this burlesque show.
Oh, great.
So, you know, women supporting women, we love to see it. And Lisa wanted to do it. Otherwise, like, this wasn't something that the company made her do. So
I have a question about Blackpink.
Yeah.
The question is, if they decide that they're not going to sign with YG again, are they able to keep the name Blackpink?
Probably not. YG hasn't even let 21 really promote as 21, even though they're not doing anything with the name because they're just stingy and weird about it. So probably not, but they could reform and call themselves something else, and by name recognition alone, people would know who they are. Yeah. But every time there's like some rumor about, like, there was a rumor about like Jennie's gonna start her own company, and then YG immediately said that it wasn't true, because anytime something like that comes out, their stocks tank. Which is hilarious.
That is great.
Like, this whole news has tanked their stocks, I think, like 22% or something.
Shit, I'm gonna go on there tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I can't believe that so and so.
Start a rumor.
Rose is starting her own company.
So, anyway, I think it's funny. I think that the whole idea of like company loyalty it's earned. There's a lot of SM entertainment artists that are still there. A good chunk of Girls' Generation members. Super Junior's been there forever. SHINee just re-signed for the 3rd time. So there's something to be said about, like, and that's a company that gives them a lot of job opportunities. So there's and solos and stuff like that. So there's something to be said about, like, earning loyalty. It's like how people don't stay loyal to, like, a company or a job anymore, like, just in regular life, because, like, if you're not getting an earned respect or a sense that you are, like, a vital part of the team, then what makes them deserve your loyalty, you know? So if you find something better, bye-bye. Basically.
See ya.
Yeah. So just look out for they're just looking out for themselves. So
they're girls who have to have their girl capitalism.
Girl capitalism.
So some would say.
Yeah, you know, some would say. By Triple S. Oh, I didn't say their company name either from that whole 15 seconds. Oh, man, whatever. Anyway.
Who's their company? Just so you know.
Mod House, who have oh shoot, what is their name? Artemis, which is half of Luna. Yes. They're in the same company. Neat. Yeah. Fun facts. So anyway, you've learned too much about companies because there's a lot, and I don't know why. I've known it since like 2010. I can't escape. Get me out. So
get me out.
Get me out of here.
Get me out.
But it might end. K-pop news, especially something like this, kind of changes at the drop of a hat. So this might be old news by the time this episode comes out. But anyway, that's your lowdown on K-pop companies and stuff that doesn't apply literally anywhere, because nobody cares about companies in any other country, in any other genre of music, like in K-pop. It's so weird. It's like they're their own like brand of like entertainment in K-pop. Just the companies themselves.
I've seen it on Twitter. It's very strange.
So weird.
Now, I will have a follow-up to that. So the follow-up is, in your Blackpink discussion, you were mentioning other people that were in the company.
Yeah.
You mentioned Shiny.
Shiny was in SM.
SM, okay.
Yeah. All the people I was mentioning, those are people who stayed with their original company.
Okay. We're going to go back to Shiny, though.
Yeah.
Because what is going on with Shiny, and what the fuck is colorism?
All right. So what you mean colorism as a concept?
Sure.
Okay. Colorism is like basically baby racism, where it's like discriminating based on color of someone's skin, but not necessarily because of their race.
Yeah.
And I hate to do this because it's about Key, and not in a good way.
Okay.
Because I know you like him.
Yeah.
So Shiny did this this web series on YouTube, and on it they were talking to, it was Key and Taemin and Minho. They're 3 of the Shiny members. And so they were having a conversation where Minho, he's very athletic. He used to be a soccer player. Like, he's very athletic. And he's very tanned and stuff. And so he was like begging his members. He's like, I really want you guys to come play golf with me. Can you guys come play golf?
Okay.
But so I'm going to read what it says. So Taemin commented to Minho, ever since you started playing golf, when I see you, all I see are the whites of your eyes and your teeth. Key also said, why did you get so sun-kissed? If Minho closes his eyes and mouth at night, you'll go, Minho, where are you? So, that's not good. So, and the problem too is like, and this is not limited to just Korea, but it's just this sort of thing where people view lighter skin as like richer, or like for particularly Korea, it goes back to like dynasties and how it was like more for royal people, because tanned people were considered like laborers or people who had to work outside and weren't, rich or royal. So that was the colors part of it. And usually with things like this, they're like, most companies kind of tend to shove it under the rug, and they don't really respond to it. But enough international fans made a stink about it, which was good. So Key and Taemin apologized, and also the company. And so now Korean fans are all pissed off at international fans because they're saying that like they shouldn't have to apologize, and like this is part of Korean culture or whatever, like weirdly justifying it. But so
it's okay for us to be racist because it's culturally acceptable.
So like the problem is too, so like from there's a soul standpoint where I understand is like the Shiny's been together for, I don't even know how long, like 15 years. And so these sort of jabs at, and Minho's not like, he's just tan, kinda, but like he's not like, I don't know. He's not like a Florida retiree tan, you know what I mean? Like, like he's not like laid out in the sun or whatever. Like he's just a little bit darker, but like I say darker like in the loosest terms. And he looks great, and I think I like his tan skin. And if you have naturally tan skin, like, you work with what you have, whatever.
Oh, this is Minho?
Yeah, that one. Well, that one's kind of whitewashed. Yeah, that.
He's not even that tan.
No, just comparatively, because like Taemin is wicked pale and stuff. So, yeah. So and so like I can understand if like these sort of comments were something that they usually just like poke fun at him for. But there's a difference between like doing that in private and doing it when you're being filmed for a show is going to go on the internet for the whole world to see. Like, there's a difference.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, dark humor. Like, is it socially acceptable, like, on a public forum to make, I don't know, 9/11 jokes or suicide jokes or whatever? Probably not. No. But in, like, if that's, like, a friend group type of humor and you're not saying, and you're within the understanding of other people that, like, this is a joke. Like, there's a time and a place, basically. And that was not a time or a place.
I don't understand what you're saying, because I don't understand, like, anyone who would have friends that would make 9/11 jokes.
All right. That's, yeah, huh? Mm-hmm. You don't?
No.
All right. Well, you're a better person than I
It was
guess.
a national tragedy.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
Why are you laughing?
I don't know. I'm not. All right. I'm moving on. Stop gaslighting me. I see. For those of you who are only listening to the podcast, Lewis has the biggest shit-eating grin right now. He's trying to hide. But anyway, back to this. That's the only point in which I can kind of understand why the jokes on his skin color came out so easily for them, because it's probably something they've just done before, and maybe there's an understanding with Minho. But the problem is, K-pop is trying actively year after year to become more globalized. And so you can't, like, the Korean fans can't be like, well, you're just like misunderstanding Korean culture and da 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 da. It can't be like that when you have that company that is like pushing other people in their company, like aespa and NCT. They're in SM also.
Yeah.
Like, they're pushing them so globally. You can't like say it's part of culture when there are so many different kinds of races and ethnicities and skin colors out there, that if somebody who is even just Minho's complexion, which again is not very different to me, really. If you're gonna have people who
my arms are tanner than his fucking face. No, I'm serious.
Right? No, like... I know. Yeah, so it's like he gets sun and what? So, or even that, like, not all Koreans are born with pale white skin. That's just how it is. It's the same thing with I think any variation of any race. So
there's a lot of colorism in Hispanic culture too.
Yeah,
a lot. I remember, like, growing up, like, my family has all different kind. Like, there's light looking people, there's darker people, there's tan, and you'd see it a lot with the older folks. They would like respond differently to shit depending on who came up to them, like, and like whether they were darker or lighter,
which is crappy.
Yeah,
it's always really crappy when people base assumptions on just appearance.
It's just odd because, like, I remember thinking about that even when I was a kid. I'm like, that's weird. Like, that's
a really messed up thing to be thinking about as a kid too.
Yeah.
Let alone at all. But
I know. But anyways, so they apologized.
They did, and some people thought it was like, well, they're just apologizing because people called them out on it, which I don't actually see as a problem, because I think there is a level of, I guess the word would be ignorance, I guess, but there is, I would maybe use, I don't know if it's a less harsh word, but there's a level of ignorance or naivety with that for Koreans, where that has kind of been the cultural thing, where it is seen that whiter skin is more like a beauty standard.
Yep.
And if nobody calls them out on it, how will they know if they've done anything to offend somebody? So, like, I don't have a problem with the fact that they only apologize because they got caught, quote unquote, because, like, that's how, like, you have to be aware of these things in order to understand why it offended somebody. So if they don't just apologize because they didn't realize it, they didn't know. So it's a whole, I think there's an educational aspect to it. I don't think it was, people are being kind of vitriolic and calling them like racist and stuff now. And they're bringing up like Jonghyun, who we'd be like, Jonghyun would never do that. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, he's not alive anymore, so let's not bring him up, please. It's just weird. It's like, they're like, well, he would never, it's like, cool, we'll never know. Cause
it's one of those things where like this always happens when you have somebody that's a celebrity like them, right? And then they do something like they're just talking in this instance, and yeah, it's wrong. They should re-examine what they were saying, because like it's just not right to say that. But like you said, like if they're just joking, they know it's wrong, but they just joke around and they have like this dumb banter.
Yeah.
Then it's a different thing. But this is a public appearance, and you shouldn't be joking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and people are also saying they should be apologizing to Minho and stuff too, which is like, maybe they did, or maybe they don't have to. Maybe Minho understood it. Like, there's only so much that we are seeing and understanding as the viewing public. We're just we are only understanding that this happened because it was posted for the public. They edited that part out now on the YouTube video, but people were still commenting on the in YouTube, because I was looking at them.
And somebody has a full copy somewhere.
Yeah. It's on Twitter somewhere probably.
But
and all he wants is someone to play golf with him. Just someone go play golf with Minho, for Christ's sake. Jeez.
I'd do it.
Yeah. I don't play golf. Yeah. I would do it, but anyway.
Fuck, what was I going to say?
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. My train of thought is like derailed.
We're just thinking about playing golf with Minho.
Let's say the worst possible thing happens and they were ignorant, or like maybe they were racist about it. At this point, like, they've apologized. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure they're going to strive to be better about it, at least in public.
Yeah, in public. Which is why, again, this whole, like, you know, it's weird that it's because they're touted as, like, they literally kind of, like, train idols to be the best versions of themselves in public and stuff. But everybody's human and everybody has flaws, and like
I think like
shit happens.
They can improve though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
What you should be taking away is the fact that like, yeah, what if they were fucking ignorant, but now they have a chance to like get better about it.
Yeah.
You gotta give him a chance. Like, if he repeatedly does that, it just doesn't give a fuck and is like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Then you can call him a racist. Like, then you can say shit about him. But he either didn't think about the repercussions or like.
Oh, it was him and Taman. It was the two of them. But,
fine, both of them. It doesn't matter how many there are.
No, I know.
My point stands.
Yeah.
My point is like, you gotta like let people get better about it.
Yeah. So like calling them out is just asking them to take accountability.
Sure, take accountability.
It shouldn't be a cancelable action, especially for something like this where it wasn't like they were, actively disparaging other races or ethnicities or something. It really was just, I think, comments just made out of ignorance and probably ones that they made in jest of Minho's skin color before. But again, K-pop's much more global now, and so you can't be global without like being aware that there are other cultures and skin colors
around the globe.
Yeah. So and so I'm fine with the the fact that they only apologized because they were called out for it, because again, how are they gonna know that they did something wrong? And I see comments all the time for certain, like there's more Southeast Asians in K-pop groups than ever. Lisa is one of them, and I see comments all the time from like Koreans that are like, wow, she'd be a perfect 10 if she wasn't from Thailand. Like, it's like so weird. Why does it matter? Like, you could just say that she's pretty. You don't have to be like she's pretty for a Southeast Asian or whatever. Like, and they say that sometimes like an insult for some like darker skinned Koreans or something too. Man. So it's a mutual thing, like, and I don't really understand. It's just such weird backhanded or not even backhanded.
I haven't seen that firsthand, but I've seen you talk about it, and it's just really fucked up. It's really stupid.
So these Korean people, the Korean fans that are being like, it's part of our culture. It's not. Like, your culture doesn't have to be like.
Or if it is, you can change that.
Yeah.
Like,
you don't have to stay this way, rooted in ignorance. And if lighter skin is the beauty standard, fine. But like, don't bash other people because they don't have lighter skin, because they can't help it, and that's stupid to nitpick on. And it made me think of I can't remember if I talked about this here or not, but there was a band called the 1975. I think they're still around. They're like an alternative rock band.
I know them. The guy from the guy who's Matt Healy.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And they were performing in Malaysia for this like 3-day festival, and he like went off on a rant about like, your country's like anti-LGBT laws suck or whatever, and he kissed his like male bandmate on stage, and it caused the Malaysian government to shut down the rest of the festival. Sure. Which cost like vendors or whoever a lot of money, and Malaysian like people were calling him like white knighting and like trying to be like a white savior and stuff, and Malaysian like LGBTQ people were saying he did much more damage by doing that, because it undid all the work that they were trying to do by him being so brazen about it.
He should have just stayed in the closet.
I don't think he was just trying to prove a point, or if he's whatever, but
no, he was trying to prove a point. I get it.
But it's also like that wasn't his point to prove. Especially, like I said, I don't know if he's LGBT or whatever, but especially if he's not, like, that's especially a weird like stance to take in a country that you are just visiting, you don't have anything to do with. And so it's sucky that like from that perspective, if people are not understanding like the cultural dynamics of other countries, and they're just so like outward about it. Like there's gonna be a K-pop festival with K-pop artists that's happening in Saudi Arabia. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I guess there must be a big K-pop fan base there.
Is that dangerous?
So the girl groups have to modify their choreography and cover up more when they do it. They have gone there before for festivals like this, but it's like that's one of those things too. It's like you have to understand the culture before you like act so rashly, or you could get yourself or others, in the case of the 1975 thing, in trouble with it. So if you're going to really try to be global, or if you're going to tour to like places that are so different from where you grew up, you really have to do just like basic research. Like, you don't have to know the entire history of Malaysia or whatever, but you should probably know, like, if you want to make a political statement, maybe think about if that is A, or your statement to make, or B, something that like is, I'm sure it would have been like, they would note if it's like a contentious subject or whatever. So
you heard it here first from Tory. It's okay to be racist.
Whoa. No, I didn't say that. What the hell are you saying?
All right. It's been a great episode.
What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What is your problem? That was not at all. I was having a very serious conversation about cultural sensitivity, which is a real thing, and not some like weird like Rudy 2000 Survivor, like, I don't know, pansy pandering
Rudy
whatever
2000
thing.
Survivor.
Yeah, the robot Rudy 2000.
Rudy 2000.
But really, I mean, really, it is just like, it's basic. It's like the simple research of like, if you go to Japan, you don't walk around with your shoes on in the house. Like, like simple stuff, like things they put on like, I don't know, WikiHow articles or whatever, like the 10 things you shouldn't do in this country or whatever. Like very simple.
Sure.
So
a little bit of research.
Yeah. So again, if K-pop wants to be more global, like they've been pushing these last, like especially this last decade, they really need to do like the bare minimum of research, or at least be understanding that not everybody who's watching is going to be a pale Asian watching content. Everybody's different. We are all a rainbow. We are all a diverse rainbow. And some are gay. So anyway, that's my K-pop corner. What? Oh, I thought you were like clapping down for like Oyasumi Nasai or something. No. Okay. So okay, well that's good. So anyway,
thank you.
No, thank you.
That was good. For what?
I don't know, for letting me go on about Muppets and colorism. It's a weird episode.
Muppets and colorism. That's a good title. All right, cool.
That's not the episode of this podcast.
All right.
No, my God.
All right.
Muppets
and colorism.
Anyway, thank you for taking this weird, wild, incredible ride on whatever we talked about. Halloween, 10-foot skeletons, the Muppets, Judaism, burlesque shows, and Matt Healy.
Hell of a bunch of tags. I'll tell you what.
I was making tags for the last episode. I ran out of room for the first time.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh, shoot, I have to get rid of something?
What the hell?
But they're all so good. I don't know what I got rid of. I think it was something, oh, God, I don't remember. It wasn't even anything. It was some stupid, like, I put tags for actual topics, but then I make up my own stuff.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, if I talk about Shrek, I'm like, Shrek is life or whatever. And it's like,
love.
okay,
Shrek
well, I guess,
life.
yeah, that's not really a tag, but I do that I do that with all my social media. I do that on our TikTok. I do that also. I put like a stupid like.
It's not stupid.
Tag. Well, like not like a
serious
topic, not a topic tag. I do like a run-on sentence for tags. I do that like on my Instagram. I do that everywhere.
It's a good thing.
I guess so. I don't know, because it's my way of being like, sure, I'll do hashtags, but also I'm just gonna say some weird thing for this hashtag to stick it to the man.
That's right.
Whoever that is.
All right, you got that Zoomer brain going. Nice job.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want to see any of our weird hashtags, I'm gonna flip this around and say, go to our social medias, Twitter and TikTok at LEM'n'TEA Podcast, and also, since you're here anyway, consider subscribing. Hit down below, click the bell. The choice is yours. We empower you, whatever you decide. But we're hoping we have, I don't know if you shared the goal, but
I want to sell.
Thanks. I have a hopeful goal that maybe we can get to 40 subscribers before the end of the year.
Click the bell, or if you don't want to, you don't have to. We hope you do.
Well, you don't have to. I don't click. I've said this before. I don't click the bell for anything.
Oh.
Also, clicking the bell doesn't do much. Like, people say all the time. Like, I've seen people who in their community tabs on YouTube, like for people I'm subscribed to, that say like, "Did you get the bell notification?" And some people are like, "No," and they have the bell on. So
I turn it off.
If you want to take your chance with the bell, let us know how it goes. But if not,
if I subscribe, I turn it off. I'm sorry.
But if at least you want to consider just subscribing, we really would appreciate that. If you liked all this wacky weirdness you've heard today.
That's right. Or you can consider going to twitter.com/trippydesk or youtube.com/azaratsflame, AZARATHSFLAMEE. Check out YouTube.
I'm constantly impressed every time you spell it.
I don't know why.
Yeah, check out me making semi-viral tweets, I guess.
Damn.
Not to toot my own horn or anything.
Brag.
It's a humble brag. Or you can go to Twitter and Twitch for Lumo. That was a really great sell. I stuttered over everything.
That's cool.
If you want to see him quoting celebrities like Rainn Wilson or
What?
You quote tweeted Rainn Wilson.
Yeah, because he was stupid.
Yeah, you got some likes on that one though. It was good.
Okay.
It was. No, you made a good point. So if you want to see him also beg politicians to be under a geriatric age before they consider politics, go to twitter.com/UnoLumo or go to twitch.tv/UnoLumo. I think the Twitter URL still works, right? I'm pretty sure. I don't think the X thing has been finalized yet.
No, I think you can still do Twitter. I still do Twitter.
When I copy links from Twitter, it automatically makes it X, which still makes me think that it's like someone is going to think that I'm sending them porn. Like that's just really what this is. But
X.com.
But if you type in twitter.com, it does still work. So as long as it works, I'm still saying Twitter, and even then I might just still say it. But
X is such a dumb fucking name.
So stupid.
It's so stupid. I hate it.
Very, very short. I read this article about how this is on Apple, the Apple Store, which I don't have an Apple product, but it has, when you go to the Apple Store, it has like the name of the app and then it's like tagline thing, because Twitter's used to be like your corners, like your neighborhood corner of the internet or something like that. Yeah. And then Elon made it that stupid new one that was like, oh, what was it called? Oh no, it's so dumb that I blocked it from my brain.
R&R.
R&R. I think about that video every day.
R&R.
R&R. If you want to sound like an Aussie, say the word or say the letters R and R and all together, and you sound like you're saying "oh no" in an Aussie way. Blaze your glory. So people were confused, and I guess the sales for the downloads for the X app tanked on Apple because now it said X, blaze your glory, and people were like, what the hell does that mean? That tells me nothing about the app. So they changed it in the Apple Store to say formerly Twitter, which is really funny.
Yeah, because they weren't getting any fucking downloads.
Imagine having one of the most recognizable brands ever and just being like, I'm going to make it something hella generic.
X.
X gonna give it to you.
I hate him.
Except
he's just so annoying.
He doesn't. Yeah.
He's the most annoying fucking cringe lord. Like,
oh my god, he's so cringe.
He is so fucking cringe. It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing.
If you want to see us talk about how cringe he is, follow us on Twitter. Or follow the LEM'n'TEA Podcast official Twitter, or our TikTok of the same name, LEM'n'TEA Podcast, where sometimes we talk about crotchety homophobic neighbors. Sometimes we talk about K-pop. A lot of it's K-pop, actually, I realized, which is really funny. But check us out. We got a variety of stuff to offer if that's your bag. Variety is the spice of life. It is.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yes, it is.
And on that note, I think we'll end it because we got shit to do.
Like go to sleep.
And beds to sleep in.
This is your bedtime podcast, even though we release the episodes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every other Friday. Hint, hint. Hint, hint. Every other Friday.
Every other Friday.
Yes.
All right. Great. So, goodbye. Get out.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. I'm just going to leave now. Bye.
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 Bye.